Hi, friends. We're back for our Team Up Tuesday playing more Spellbreak. These Tuesday streams are a little bit more than usual, geared towards helping out new players, learn things about the game. But we also just play the game and have fun, but try to be a little bit more educational than we usually are. Just a bit. Try to explain some general concepts we don't always go over in super in-depth. I haven't played it all since yesterday. I played like 1 or 2 games just to finish the toxic quests that we had. But something I did notice, you'll see here, is that all my daily quests reset. So that bug must have been fixed in last week's patch, and I didn't know that, whether it had or not. So they either reset in the morning in the US or something like that. I don't know. I didn't log in until just before getting on stream and noticed that. So interesting. A welcome change, because it was pretty annoying. Before, what happened is they wouldn't reset until 24 hours after you completed them all. So what would end up happening then is you'd like finish at 5 p.m. and then the next day you wouldn't get them till 5 p.m. So it wasn't very conducive, especially to me streaming. Or people that play at the same time every day, because your quests would come later every single day if you were trying to complete them every day. So a welcome change. Everything in this update is mostly about polish, although there are some weird bugs with like duo grouping that the element competitive folks have run into. I've also noticed some weird things about like things in the kill feed. I don't know if they changed the way that like certain things count as an exile or not. Sometimes like when I exile someone else, it doesn't look like I get credit for it. Or sometimes when I get exiled, it shows someone else's name as the person that got exiled. So still some issues going on, but we should actually get another patch in about 3 or 4 weeks with the chapter 2 release. So Jesse, the game design director, did say on his stream last week that there's going to be a bit of a gap between chapter 1 and chapter 2. So yesterday we saw that these honor quests, which go until the end of the chapter, do line up with that 12-week March 9th date. But it's not like on March 13th then, or on March 9th, that chapter 2 is immediately launched. There's going to be like a week or 2 where it's just, there's no chapter pass and the game is what it is. Now it's possible something else could happen then. There could be some like seasonal event. There could be an extra set of story quests or something that help unveil leagues, or which is the ranked mode that's coming, or unveil a new game mode, or unveil a new gauntlet. All those things are possible. So we'll see, I guess. They haven't said anything, and they've been pretty cryptic actually. And like on the developers community streams, they've been kind of refusing to answer any questions about when the chapter ends and when the new chapter will begin. Even in regards to this like honor quest thing, Andy wouldn't even answer that today. Or Andrew? I don't know. Flossie. There's 2 Andy Andrews on the community team for the game, and I get mixed up which one is which one is Andy and which one is Andrew. Okay, so I think we're gonna dive into a Clash game, as we often do. Clash is, so there's 2 game modes in the game right now. There's Battle Royale, and then there's 3 different variants of that. Squads, which is teams of 3, duos, which is 2, obviously, and then solos, which is just playing by yourself. And then the Clash game mode is a little bit more geared towards casual players. It is a 9 versus 9. And then you're kind of broken up within that 9 into smaller teams of 3. But the important thing about Clash that's great for new players is you respawn when you get exiled. So you get a lot more combat practice, you get a lot more practice with your movement, you get a lot more time to understand all the elemental interactions. It really is one of my biggest tips for new players is to spend a lot of time in Clash. Also a great tip and a great thing to do for those players. Right now there's a matchmaking split at mage rank level 23. And it's a pretty harsh, abrupt transition. So for those players who just hit level 23 and are going up against all the veteran players, the competitive players, the streamers, all the console and Switch players, going up against PC players and feeling a little bit outmatched, Clash is a great place to hone your skills and learn more about the game. And can get a lot better instead of Clash. I spent most of the prologue of the game playing pretty much exclusively Clash, other than, you know, the occasional Battle Royale game. Now, on stream, I play at least a few Battle Royale games every day that I'm streaming. Mostly though, if I'm playing Battle Royale on a day that I'm not streaming, it's because a quest requires me to do it, and when I tried to to complete it not in Battle Royale, it wouldn't let me. I'm just sick of Battle Royale. I'm so excited for a new game mode to come. Can't come soon enough for me. Battle Royale has its fun points. Definitely because death is more permanent in it than it is in something like Clash. It raises the stakes for it. It makes it feel more intense to die, especially in those endgame fights. Oh, you know what though? I think I have I think I had turned off crossplay for when I tried to complete those Battle Royale quests last night after I got off stream. So Clash doesn't really work without crossplay. The lobby just never fell. One other time I did do that and ended up playing 1v1 in Clash, and the person decided to hide forever. Even after we had already engaged quite a few times. I couldn't find a wolf's blood, and I didn't want to quit because I had completed a bunch of other quests, like opening mana vaults or something like that. So I didn't want to quit out, but it took 45 minutes to complete the match, which is just ridiculous. It was kind of awful. I did win eventually. Not that winning is super important, but it was, after all of that, it was somewhat satisfying. It's maybe the only satisfying part about that experience was to have won. I do think 1v1 would be fun, but the problem with that was in the first like 3 or 4 storm circles in Clash are pretty big for a 1v1. So there was a lot of places for the person to hide. If you're new here, I didn't say this in the beginning. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome. Creating a happy little gaming community that's fun, inclusive, supportive, non-toxic. We'd love it if you joined us. You can do just that by hitting that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification button to know when we go live together. Usually that's about 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast, which is 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern in the US. Sometimes I switch it up and do an evening stream instead. Those are all during the week too. On the weekends, I tend to do, it depends what I've got going on, but I tend to also do some more evening streams on the weekend. We'll see. I'm thinking about kind of changing up my schedule a little bit, but I will definitely let you know if I do that. Kind of want to leave. So I've been trying to make more edited videos. This is like one of like this channel is one of like 10 large projects I have going on in my life at the moment. So it's hard to dedicate enough time to stream for at least a couple hours, and you know, there's prep to get on stream too. It takes me like 20 minutes of setup and making a thumbnail and doing all the description and all that stuff to get streaming too. So it's not just like turn it on and go. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe just streaming like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So this Tuesday stream would go away then, but we could still do, I mean, I'm always open to answering new players' questions. And even just when I'm just playing, since I don't usually or always or often have people talking in chat, which is fine. Tend to see, for some reason, tend to have more people watch the videos later than watch live, but maybe that's a time thing. Maybe I should adjust my time too, but this seems to work well for me, because if I've moved it much later, then I'd be pushing into like my dinner time, hang out with my husband time. So this time works well for me, but what I might do is just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so then I can dedicate that time that I would have spent streaming on Tuesday and Thursday towards making some more of that edited content, because like I've been just in spare time trying to do that, and you'll know because I've been teasing that Arcane Gauntlet video for I think 2 weeks now, and I'm still not done with it. I spent hours and hours and hours on it and it's still not done. So I think that would let us at least get, I want to say, like, because part of the reason that Arcane video is taking so long is I don't have a workflow down for that whole process yet. I have all these video elements and stuff for the videos that I want to do that I'm having to make them all from scratch, and kind of reteaching and relearning how to do a lot of that stuff as I go. So there's good things coming out of it, but I think if I had the time that I'm putting into those extra 2 days of streaming, I would really be able to dedicate that to getting at least like maybe one or two other edited videos out a week. Once I get into the flow of things a little bit more. Let's see here, we still really need a better wind, so I won't just take that rift, but maybe I will. because there's not really a lot of, there's not a ton of chests in this area anyways. It's not letting me use the rift. There, come on. I need to get out of the storm. Okay, there we go. I did also, you can all tell me in the comments or in chat if you're watching live. Did figure out some of that audio EQ stuff with OBS that I'd mentioned a few times over the last few streams, so hopefully I sound a little bit better. Messed around with it. I'm not an audio engineer by any stretch of the imagination. Audio has definitely been getting good audio has definitely been the hardest part of this whole streaming process. Getting everything set up, but I think it sounds okay. It's hard because I don't particularly love the sound of my own voice. And it's a lot of listening. Setting it up is a lot of me just reading random things into the microphone and adjusting settings for like an hour. Try to get it to sound right or good. And by the end of it, I feel like I'm like, I don't even know what sounds good anymore. I think this sounds good. Listening to myself now, I did that earlier this morning and then was working on other stuff. So listening to myself back in my headphones now, I think I sound okay. I think it sounds better than what I did before. Anyway, so let me know what you all think, or if there's any issues that I'm not picking up on my end, but you're hearing on your end. Definitely let me know that too. Audio is tough. I have done other types of content creation before, but not really like video in this way in a long time. I did video editing and stuff in college, but that was a while ago, so it's been a while. Definitely have so much respect for, so much more respect, I'll say, because I love YouTube and I have like since it first came out. But for your YouTube creators, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Even for just like the silliest thing, like me playing video games and talking to people. So got a pretty good loadout here. So I'm playing Tempest. I think that was one of the quests that I had to do. So the Tempest class is not necessarily one that I would suggest new players start out with right away. Might be good like for a little later on. But it's actually a lot easier to use now than what it was before. I think, anyways, some of the changes they made recently seem to help. There was no one here. It was a wasteland, and then now it's like so many. Oh no, I'm gonna fall off the edge. No! Oh. Well, it happens. I didn't realize. I guess I should have known we were by the edge of the map, but I wasn't paying that close of attention to where it was. There's not that many places where in the map where you're fighting right next to the edge like that. Usually, if you're by the edge, you can get away before you would fall. So Tempest is a very high mobility class. So you can see you can use your sorcery or your spell, your wind shears, which on console is just your trigger buttons. You can use them to float in the air, so it's very floaty and mobile. And then you can also, once you reach the first storm circle and level things up, you'll see the skills there on the left. You level up as you reach each storm circle. One moment while I fight. I'll try to remember where I was at. Once you reach that second storm circle, you get that, which is when you enter your own tornado, you get launched up into the air. And if you actually use like dash, or I'm not sure if it works with spring step actually. It might. We should try it here. We'll try it. Hard to tell, but it might just be that I didn't do it right. So they went in their frost, what is that called? Frozen something? Tundra once it's leveled up? What's it called? I forget off the top of my head, but we'll play a game of Frost later, but I'll remind myself then. But they use their sorcery to try to block me there, but it doesn't cover the top of them, so still able to shoot a fireball down on their head. Person teleporting into a rock. Doesn't seem super useful. So you also can fly up in the air with your... Yeah, I don't think that works with just spring step. It does work with dash. If you dash into the tornado as Tempest, you do fly high. So to get to this screen that we were talking about, we'll walk out of the fight a little bit here. This is, you hit tab on PC, or if you're on console, you hit the up button on the D-pad. And you'll see here on the left, there's 4 skills for each of the different classes. And you pick your class by whatever one of the different gauntlets you select on the main game screen. And you get those extra skills. That's kind of the bonus you get for selecting each of the different classes. So they each have their advantages. Sometimes they have disadvantages. Well, disadvantages compared to other classes, maybe. So it's okay, we went down. It's Clash. We respawn. So that's the great thing. You get them back with full health. You get to keep all your items. You also drop a copy of all your items when you die. So looting is a little bit less important in Clash than it is in Battle Royale because of that. Getting hit, and I don't even know from where. I'm in the air. It's like the entirety of the rest of the other team is here, so probably from them. I think I'm getting zapped or wind sheared. Yeah, I think I'm getting actually wind sheared by this person. We won. So if you're still trying to finish your chapter pass in the next 3 weeks, it's also easier to level that up inside of Clash than it is inside of Battle Royale. Tend to just get more XP in Clash. I usually have been getting about 1800 to 1900 XP in Clash, and even In Battle Royale, when I've been like, it depends what accolades and stuff you get now. They kind of changed the XP system with this patch last week, but it in Battle Royale, even if I get to like the end game and have like 3 or 4 kills, I've only been getting like 1500 XP, so it's not a huge difference, but like if you go into Battle Royale and you pretty much die on drop, you only get like, I think like 300 or 400, depending on what you were able to do before you got knocked out. I was trying to look at what this, I think we just got a Tempest card for leveling that up, but I'm not sure which one it is. This one maybe? This one? It's pretty cool actually, although I really do like the one that this was part of the chapter pass, I think, for one of the stories. Let's see here. We'll keep playing a little bit more Clash. So I'll hold off playing Pyro. If I was gonna have like 2 suggestions for one of the common questions new people have is like, what class should I play? Excuse me. They're all pretty evenly balanced, especially right now. They all, like I said, they have advantages and disadvantages. You can see here as you're going through on the right hand side, as you change gauntlets, you can see what the different skills that'll level up as you go through. So Flash Freeze, that's the frost sorcery that I couldn't remember the name of. Tundra is what it becomes when it levels up, but I don't know why I have a hard time remembering that one. But anyways, best classes I'd say for new players, if I was gonna suggest something, there's a few. So Pyro is definitely high on the list, and another common question then people would ask is like, well, what do I run with it? And I would say Toxic. They combine really well. It's very high damage. It's pretty easy to understand the interaction between the 2 of them. It's not like too hard to do. Other suggestion for new players would be Stone Shaper. And the reason for this is there's a lot of verticality in the game, and Stone Shaper takes out one of those elements, kind of, at least in your aiming, which is good for console players and new players, because it only, we'll play a round of it later, but it only goes on one, you only have to aim along the ground because the main attack goes along the ground. So you only kind of have to aim on that one plane, and you don't need to worry about like shifting your aim up. The other new one that I'd probably suggest, and this one is more for people coming from other, like, more FPS type shooter games maybe, or maybe something like Fortnite. Conduit might be a good place for you to start because it's the most like something like an assault rifle or something in a lot of those other games. So actually the wind that we were just playing, I don't really use it as much, like the wind spamming or wind shears, spamming wind shears. I don't know. Wind spamming is just what people talk about when they complain about it. But that's also actually pretty similar to like an SMG or an assault rifle. And then we're just talking about the different classes. So Toxic is a little bit more like a shotgun. It's a little bit more up close because of that. It's also a little bit more stealthy and sneaky. Part of that is because some of the skills that you get on that right-hand side have to do with being invisible. So that makes it a little bit more of a sneaky up close. And then Frost is also high mobility because you make ice trails that you can ice skate on and move really quickly around. So that gives it a lot of mobility. But other than that, that mobility is mainly because it's more of a sniper class. So you want to kind of be a little bit like mid to far range with it. And that mobility helps you stay away from people, kind of, so you can do that. So what should we play here? Do we have any quests that require just the Tempest one? Okay. Maybe we will play Stone then, since we were talking about it as something else that's good for new players. There is, like, this game, it's part of the reason that I personally like it, is it's so different from a lot of other games in this kind of like online massive, not massive multiplayer, because there's not like open world with thousands of people or anything, but um you know, something like Fortnite or Valorant or Apex or all these games that are so popular right now. It just has such a different flavor, and it's not just like there are similarities in the different elements and stuff like that to weapons in other games, but there's also all these other kind of like things that come more from like RPG type games. Like those skill levels that unlock over time. We haven't gotten into it yet, but there's also talent builds. Which are kind of, you can see the ones that I have selected right now in the upper right hand corner on this screen. So there's 3 categories of them: mind, body, spirit, and then there's a bunch of different ones you can select. And that they all give you kind of different passive abilities or different damage or health buffs. Some of them give you more movement. Some of them give you other abilities in the game that are useful, like being able to track your enemies once you hit them, or one of them lets you see enemies on the little mini map in the upper right hand corner. So if someone's trying to hide and be sneaky, I think every 15 seconds or something like that, you can see them. So a bunch of really interesting gameplay design things to bring those elements into this kind of more dynamic aim and movement based combat system. So these scrolls, you'll see our talents we have selected that we were just talking about. Those are those passive abilities. You see they each have 3 dots in the lower right hand corner. So each scroll that you read fills up one of those 3 dots for each of the 3 talents. And that kind of levels that up too. So there's progression even within those. It just kind of buffs whatever ability it gives you. So the one that I just read, I think, was for recovery. That one gives you some of your health back over a period of time. So like, let's say you get hit for 100 damage by someone from like a frost snipe or something. So then with however many with one scroll, I get 35% of that back over 10 seconds. And I think the different scrolls for that change the length of time. Speaking of frost snipes, I think someone's trying to frost snipe me here. Stone is kind of horrible for countering that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my teammate here. You can see here, you can skate on your teammates' ice trails. So in squads, that can be really useful, like if you're trying to run away from someone, if you're trying to push another team, you could get up to them really fast or get away from people really fast this way. Also, if there's no, like, if you don't want to try to split up and take different storm rifts or whatever to get out of the storm, you could all ride on your teammates' ice trails to get to zone. So we didn't really talk much about stone here, so you can see what we were talking about before, where the attack, the main stone slam attack, goes on the ground. And then your secondary ability is a giant boulder that you throw. I'll throw it just to show you. So the boulder, you do still have to aim, and it's kind of like, you can think of it kind of like a giant, really heavy basketball. It has, everything in the game is projectile, so it all, gravity affects everything. Read the scroll. Need better boots still, but we'll just take the rift. Kind of would rather have pyro as my offhand, fire as my offhand, than lightning. Some more, there's more interaction between it and Stone Shaper. I like, well, pyro is the main class that I've probably played the most of. Well, not probably, I have played the most of since the game came out. But it's very useful as an offhand for a lot of gauntlets. Let's see, fire, frost, and probably toxic are the most popular offhands. There's better boots. That's nice. So you do, every time you respawn in this Clash game mode, you get 2 shield shards to refresh your shields. You only get shields once you have a belt, so finding a belt should definitely be a priority. So with stone, you have to time your attacks to when the player's on the ground. So if they're jumping around, you gotta make sure probably gonna die here. I'm missing my fire. I'm not used to lightning offhand at all. So this person is hitting almost all their fireballs. There's someone running pyro. Maybe we can take them out and get their gauntlet. Oh, never mind. It was our teammate that's running it. This is the person that took us out. We want revenge. Are they gonna fracture him? Revenge. Okay. We're gonna get shocked here, but I don't care. Oh, except maybe I do, because I died. I did get the fire. There was a legendary fire there that I was going for. It was worth dying for, honestly, in Clash. No, I better make good use of it. So the fire, or the stone gauntlet rather, though, you'll see it's blocked by that rock. It does kind of go up some hills, but not a lot of them. Usually it's a hill will block it. So if you're going against a stone player, you want to get on a different level than them. Ooh. Stone also is a little bit more of a tanky class, so you regenerate 20 shields as you slam the ground, so that it'll go away, but you'll see here if I slam the ground, building up 5 extra shields each slam that somebody then took off again, but lets you be a little bit more tanky than a lot of the other classes. Ouch, this one person just zapping me with lightning over and over again. That's the person that's been zapping me. Chase him. Oh wait, no, this isn't the person. It is the guy in the with the hood thing that was chasing me before. Sorry, I'm being quiet while I'm stressed out fighting. Try to get away from this toxic person. I have been playing more stone lately. I've been playing a lot, so for the longest time, I was only really playing fire, and then once I got fire at a level 20, I started playing a lot of frost. And then since I got frost above level 14, I've been kind of switching up what I've been playing more. So I have played more stone recently. I don't love it. Like, it wouldn't be, it's obviously wouldn't be what I go to first, because I still mostly play Battle Royale with Pyro, but it's good to learn new things. It's good to get some practice on some other things. Oops. There's so much going on there, I can't tell who's my team and who's not. Yeah. Almost got him. It was down to like whoever got that last slam in. They might be running the fervor talent, which lets you get attacks off a little bit faster. Ooh. Those hurt. You can see this clash mode is very chaotic. Like, there's a lot going on. But it's actually great practice, not just for combat, but it's great practice for the end game in Battle Royale, which are not quite this chaotic. But when the storm circle gets small at the end of those matches, it is pretty chaotic sometimes. So Clash is good practice to like avoid all these AoE area of effect things like fire everywhere, toxic puddles everywhere. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I thought I was running a different rune for a second. Victory. Well, it was a pretty good game. A lot of high death for us though. 6 exiles. A lot of those were that one person. I think it's this person? They're pretty low level, but they were pretty good. But so completed another gas quest. Let's see here. We'll do one more clash. And we'll play Frost. I've been trying to play one Frost game a day to keep my Frost aim up. I spent a couple months playing mostly Frost in Clash and not talking, apparently. With more time spending practicing that than I have talking. You can see here how you put out these things. You just basically aim your frost somewhere up above the ground and then just tap your spell button. To normally aim, you want to hold down your spell button on frost and then it zooms in like this. It charges it up so it does more damage the more that it's charged. And I think the max is for 4 seconds. Is that right? I think it is. I don't think that was listed there, but I think it's 4 seconds to fully charge. And it does do quite a bit more damage when it's fully charged. Like with the common frost, I don't know those numbers off the top of my head. They're on the official Spellbreak wiki, which you can just Google for. Spellbreak wiki. They're on the gauntlets and class pages. That's that person from the last game that was trying to snipe us with frost over and over again. Here, we can show you though. So 24, if I don't charge up at all, that number might actually be changed a little bit because I'm running on frost. I run a little bit of a different talent build, which ups the damage that it does. Oh, I thought it was the blue one and the yellow one. We'll go to a main vault since that's a quest. It's pretty easy to get around the map when you're running Frost, since you can just make those trails everywhere. And the newer rifts that they added to the game also make it much easier to land kind of wherever and end up in the circle. So your secondary ability on Frost is casting this that we were talking about earlier, Flash Freeze, and then later it becomes Tundra once you level it up. That blocks lightning, fire, and wind attacks. I mean, I don't really want this, but I guess I'll grab it for now. At the very least, I can show you these wind shears that we were talking about are kind of like in SMG or assault rifle and some other online combat games. But those, when you're running the Tempest Wind class, those let you hit the ground and jump up. But when you're not running the class, you can't. So you can just use them kind of like an SMG and then use the tornadoes. The tornadoes are pretty useful. They suck people into them, and then you can put lightning, fire, or toxic into them, and then it'll become a tornado of those things. And like if you combine both toxic and fire, it'll explode into a giant dragon fire tornado, which does a ton of damage. Okay, still needed much better Frost. This green one is not gonna get it. So the rarity of items, the colors I think are actually exactly the same as they are in Fortnite. So common is the lowest, that's white or gray. And then uncommon is green, rare is blue. Tag that, and tag that for our teammates in case they want them. And then purple is epic, and then gold or orange is legendary. And depending on the type of item, so gauntlets, as you go up in rarity, they do more damage. And I think they also take less mana to use. So mana we didn't really talk about, but you'll see there underneath my crosshairs is kind of a curved bar that's going down. So there's no ammo in this game. You just have that mana bar, which is kind of like your magical ability you have. So it goes down as you hit, and then once it runs out, here, I'll show you, then you have a recharge for a certain number of seconds if it goes all the way down. So you want to kind of try to avoid that happening, especially like in combat, because it leaves you very vulnerable. It also takes mana to, if you hold your jump button, you kind of levitate and float up in the air, but that also takes quite a bit of mana. So the only way to get it, gold or legendary items, is from these mana vaults. So they show up on the map as these little dots. Let's see here. What do we want to run? Stone? Maybe? No. I don't actually really want to run stone. We'll keep what we have. Grab the toxic. I guess we'll go to zone and hope that we find a frost gauntlet there. This is pretty much the same zone we were in last game, which is kind of a bummer. I wish they switched up more. I've had so much fun when zone has been like in Hope's End or up in Fever Ridge, but those are like the rocky kind of volcano looking parts of the map, but I feel like that almost never happens. Oh, just hit on the doorway there and missed him. So he blew himself up there with Dragonfire. But then we sat at it and died. Which is unfortunate. I thought I was out of it. I'll warm up my frost shot here. Apparently. Not hitting anything. Okay, well, at the very least, we'll read a scroll. Let our teammates fight it out. Oh, much better frost. Okay. Maybe now that we have a legendary one, we'll hit shots. It doesn't matter. Man. Give me a moment to just, like, do anything, folks. We'll land in a different area. Let someone else deal with those people. So once frost, see these different level things again. So by default, you get the frost trails. Level 2, when you're up in the air and charging your shot, you float in the air. You also will highlight people red. And then finally, if you charge your... Oh, that was a very well-timed jump to avoid that frost thing. Oh, they're right there. I thought they were on the other side. Oh no. They're invis, they're hard to see. Immune? Oh, they were casting their Tundra. Oh, their invis is really annoying. I think I'm gonna take fire. What? Everyone's running frost this time and hitting their shots apparently. It's a frost battle for the ages. Oh, and I think I'm getting sniped by somebody else. No, the same person. don't know why this Clash game is so sweaty. Try to sit just out of their aim range there. Tree got on my way. Oh, so many ice people. I feel like half the lobby is running ice. Kind of getting stomped here, though. Usually takes me a bit to warm up with Frost, like a game or two, but see there, I ran out of mana. Got to my top of my jump, ran out of mana. Or levitate, not jump. Jumping is just tapping your jump button. That doesn't take any mana, but once you start levitating and floating, then you do. Just using my Flash Freeze Tundra there to block that person from... Actually, don't know what they were using, but it seemed like it was wind or fire based on the animation. So I can still shoot my Frost through that. I don't know if our teammates are taking our kills or if we're hitting that bug. I feel like we just got 2 kills though and didn't get credit for them. That person just fell on the fracture. These holes with fog in them, don't fall in, you'll die. Ouch. Somebody snipe me from behind there. Frost Freak, okay. That's an appropriate card title for you. Adjust my microphone a little bit here.
Hey there, Hotshot. You've certainly kept yourself busy these past few weeks. Another theory for you from our ever-excited scholars. Seems that the arcane energy within the spellstorm fluctuates. The leading theory is that it's somehow connected to breakers. So you'll be conducting a few experiments, starting with the type of gauntlet you use. Don't worry about anything but the task at hand. We'll handle the data collection from here.
So, capture a clip of that. So it's after 4 p.m. now on the Pacific times, 7 p.m. Eastern. So the story quests and everything reset for the week. I don't know. This is sounding very good for my arcane theory. I was trying to get the video out before this happened because I had a feeling this was gonna happen. But the shop also reset. The shop is mostly just going to be these until tomorrow, and the shop should be back to its usual. Still haven't bought these. I still really kind of want, well, really I want all three of these, but debating between these two. Oh, that actually wasn't really the full update for the shop. This is, but you know, again, didn't really change much. This is the only one that's new. I do like this one though. He's kind of cool for one of the, he has a little bit different hair, a little darker skin tone, has kind of more of like a knight in shining armor look. I like the detail of like his cape being burned and singed. And then you have this. So let's take a look at the quests for the week. First one, equip 3 different elemental gauntlets in one match. Okay, that's pretty easy. What if we just get the new gauntlet at the end of this week? Oh, I'd be crushed if I spent all this time on this video and I didn't get it out in time. Okay, honor quests. We still didn't finish our honor quest from last week where we need to revive 10 squad mates, but we have until the end of the chapter to do that. So we need to revive 4 more. And other than that, we need to open chests in Fort Halcyon, deal 1,500 damage while we're in the air. So Plain Tempest is really good for that. On Tempest, you do, once you unlock the Squall skill, which I think is level 3, level 2, level 3. You do extra damage when you're in the air. And then exile 25 players. Well, that one's pretty easy. And then our dailies are still what we've been doing. So I think we'll head into some Battle Royale. Maybe debating whether I want to do solos or whether I want to do squads. Guess we'll do squads. I do play squads without voice chat on, especially on, I mean, I usually do anyways, actually, just because I don't like talking to people. Even though comms are important, I only really play with voice chat on if I'm playing with friends that I know. But I turn it off on stream because I don't know what other people are gonna say, and trying to make this channel friendly to people of all ages and also be kind of a safe space. So I don't turn on voice chat because I can't control what strangers on the internet say. For the most part, I would say the Spellbreak community is great. You know, it's not everyone that plays the game is part of the, like, community necessarily, though, that I include in that description. Like, there's some toxic people. There's some trolls, just like there is in any online space at all, but in general, the community is really good. It's not quite as wholesome as like the Animal Crossing community or anything like that, but for this type of online combat game, it's like night and day. I feel like when I play like even Fortnite or something like that, and my teammates are little kids, like even the little kids are toxic in Fortnite. Don't know what that's about. Culture, a game culture thing, I think, because this is like the visuals are a little bit more anime, and it takes so many game design elements from like RPGs, and it's magic instead of guns. Maybe it's my theory on why this game is unlike, why the community for this game is unlike the community for a lot of those other games. So we did end up with an all PlayStation team here, which is actually kind of interesting. Is another team landing with us, or near us anyways. Try to get some chests open before have to engage them. Nice. Purple bell right off drop. So we haven't really talked about gear today. In the lower left, you can see underneath my player card and health information, there's an amulet, there's a belt, and there's some boots. So those are the three main pieces of gear, other than a gauntlet and a rune. So you land with one gauntlet, and then you can pick up any other gauntlet as your offhand. Don't have an offhand at the moment. We'll pick up whatever this is, since we need to pick up different gauntlets for this quest. Ooh, didn't quite make it up there. So the amulets give you more mana. So we were talking about mana as like your ammo equivalent in this game that regenerates. So the amulets give you more mana. Oh, I just need one more fireball. Ooh, ouch. They snuck around the side. I have no rune. Take his feather fall. Right there, feather fall. We'll do that, which hopefully will unlock that gauntlet one. Maybe we need to do one more. Maybe your class one doesn't count. Where'd my teammates go? They're still here. Okay. Okay, so sorry, we took a break from our conversation for the intense fight, but okay, amulet gives you more mana and faster regeneration of mana. The belt you need for shields. So you have no shields at all until you find a belt. So finding a belt, but preferably like a blue and purple belt, super important on drop. And the boots make you move faster, and I think they also affect the amount, either affect how far you can, or how high you jump, or they affect the amount of mana that levitating takes. I don't remember which one. I'd have to look up on the wiki, which actually I think I have open just in case we needed it. I'll search for that really quick. I want to make sure I'm giving accurate information. We're really far from our team here, and we don't have a rune that's very good for moving us. Unfortunately. And we don't. So I'm playing Pyro here, but I didn't level up yet, so I can't use the... Oh no, our teammate got exiled. Did someone exile them, or did they just die to the storm? Exile is gone, so they are gone. I wonder what happened. Wish my other teammate would wait. How far are we going here? I wonder if they got ambushed in the storm or something. There is quite a bit of storm fighting that happens in this game. I still have a crummy main gauntlet, which I didn't even really notice until right now. I don't have a good fire. Drink this pot. Should I take a rift and try to get to my teammate? Maybe. I'm gonna take this stone instead of the other thing. Ooh, that finished our quest too. I'm trying to come. I feel like a lot of times in squads, I'm lagging behind. People, maybe it's because I don't have voice chat on usually, but it seems like... Oh, okay, finally, we needed a better fire, and I think I'm gonna take this dash, even though it's not very good. It's better than Featherfall. I'm trying. Drink these really quick. Grab that. Oh, our teammates behind us now. I'm not even sure what they were doing. Maybe they tried to come back for us? The storm is still closing now, so we just have to keep going. I'm gonna drink this knowledge pot. So the knowledge pots give you 3 extra rune charges. You'll see on the bottom I now have 4 rune charges. Or no, they give you 2 extra rune charges, and I think I already had 2 because I'm running runic fluency. And they also give you 2 extra charges on your sorcery, so you'll see that I now have 3 boulders I can throw, and 3... I'll take that toxic. And I'll take teleport, I guess, just for fun. Need some health potions, though. I only have this safeguard one, and I kind of want to save that for like a battle if I need it. It looks like this is all already been looted, though. So I'll try to remember that I'm running teleport. I don't, until the patch last week, that kind of like fixed and maybe even buffed teleport a little bit. I think they sped up the animation for it a little bit. I almost never ran teleport because I would always run into that invalid target issue. But that's no longer as much of an issue. So I've been running it a little bit more the last week, but I'm still not used to it. Because it was maybe, other than Chrono, it was probably my least used rune. Take 1 sec here to look at boots. Try to look up what I was talking about earlier. It doesn't actually say, it just says movement speed and then it gives a value. So it doesn't explain on the wiki. So maybe it's just makes you move faster and then you jump faster or jump maybe a little higher or something with better boots. It's one person here, Balthrin. I'm not familiar with them, but they're like wiping the lobby. Maybe that's who's coming up ahead of us. Who knows? Teammates seem to just run back to us. That's not a great sign. It's fighting low. Maybe blow up. Oh, we hit that. So, I want to get up on a different level than that person. Try to flank them, maybe. Use all these knowledge potion things that I got. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's who took out the rest of the lobby. My teammate is still alive. For now. Seems like they have like maybe a legendary toxic gauntlet and they're running fervor. It's a lot of damage very quickly. You can maybe see on this exile screen. No, they're not running fervor. I don't know what was going on there then. Oh, focus mana. So that left talent increases the damage that they do on their spell. Well, we did all right, especially for losing our other teammate right away. We'll watch from the perspective of that person and see what they're doing. So the other team is already in zone, I think. Ooh, he whipped his boulder there. His teammate. He's playing very unusually. Like, you can't really throw toxic clouds into the sky. They don't, unless you directly hit the person, that's not going to do any damage. So, interested to see what they're doing here. Just chasing people out of zone and waiting for them to die to the storm. That wasn't very instructive. But oh well. Yeah, just peeking at that wiki page on boots to see if it was hidden anywhere in a big chunk of text or something, but it's not. So just run speed for the boots. Okay, so what is our next story quest then, since we completed one of them? Deal 200 damage in Fort Halcyon. So, okay. Seeing if there's any. Sometimes there's a little additional information or something in the description here. There's not, other than the Quincy would have briefed you, but he hasn't left his study in weeks. Scholars. So Quincy is the magical scholar that studies arcane arts that we've been talking to for a lot of the chapter story. Okay. Well, let's we'll play another battle royale. Maybe we'll try. I mean, we already played a Tempest game, and I don't really want to run. I'd maybe do Stone Shaper, but we gotta play that too. I don't really want to play a toxic battle royale game. Let's just play Pyro. It's what I have the most fun in battle royale playing, and what I'm the most comfortable. And it is my #1 suggestion for what you all, new players, should play. So we also didn't really go that much into the different stuff about Pyro. So the main spell are these fireballs. They're kind of like a rocket launcher in some other games. So when you play the Pyro class, when you pick it as your main gauntlet, you'll see there's like a big explosion. That's called Combust. So that's your first skill here. The hit radius for the fireball is 200% bigger, so it's easier to hit your targets. And then it also, I think there is Ignite when you don't, I think there is Ignite when you run fire offhand, but it's longer with it. I think it's 2 seconds instead of 1 second or something. Should I fact check myself there too? Well, I only got one other teammate. That's a bummer. Sometimes when you're playing like random squads as like a solo player, so like there's auto-fill basically in this game. There's no way to turn fill off in solo, like purposely solo squad, but sometimes most of the players are coming into the game with friends already set, so with their own teammates already picked, and then the math just doesn't work out that that you get a full team. Sometimes you only get one. I've had sometimes where it's just me, and then I am solo squatting. I usually back out then and re-queue, because unless it's like crossplay off lobby where it's mostly bots, that's not fun. Breastplate off. I've done that a few times. Solo. It's okay. It's fun. It's like a PvE game. Just taking out bots then until you get to the end game. Okay, we've got blue gear except our... Oh, there's people. We'll exile this person. Maybe it'll draw out their teammate. It didn't, but they had a great fire gauntlet, so that was totally worth doing. Wind I'm okay on. Try to stick close to this person this time, since we're at a disadvantage, only being two of us. They are very eager to grab loot, though, and took the health potion right out of my fingers and teleports to the next chest. I'll take stone instead of lightning. Whenever I run lightning offhand, I end up not using like any part of it. Like, the gauntlet is not that great for with offhand. When you run the conduit class, you get the abilities and skills for it really help make it a much more viable to run. Let's see where this... Oh, they're back there. Okay. Help me, please help. Oh. Sorry. Okay, I actually will grab this, though, since that was the build we talked about wanting to run. Was the Dragonfire one. Actually, do I want to take that big shield instead of these little ones? Maybe. Maybe actually, I don't know. I'm indecisive with potions. My ideal is two of the medium health and two of the medium shields, and then a stack of the small ones where you can stack 6 of each. That's my ideal, but then sometimes you get other potions instead, and then I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So the purple ones, the safeguard ones, there's 2 kinds of it. A regular safeguard, that stack has 2 like this, like I have on the left-hand side of my inventory, and the large one, which just is a single stack. So the large one do restore, I think, 50 health and 50 shield, but they take 10 seconds, which is a really long time in the middle of combat or something. So it's not really practical to use even during combat. It would only be like to reset after if you knew you were going to be able to take a break or a reset. These ones, I think, take 5 seconds, and I want to say they do, I can probably look, 25 health and 25 armor. Over 10 seconds comes back to. teammate chase that person. I'm actually gonna pop the shield. Oh no, I don't want that. I want the shield. Both running pyro, which actually makes it a little difficult in a situation like this, especially since we don't have a third. Ouch, ouch, we both went down. Oh, the other person who got me. Not the one I was chasing. They got us both, I think. See what they got going on. Oh, this is the person that won the last time and took us out. They're down. I wonder what happened. Peek through here. Actually don't see who exiled me here. Oh, they're on this team. Oh, they might go down. Oh, they did. Ended up, I think, DFing, Dragonfiring themselves. So Dragonfire, didn't really get to talk about that much in that whole match, but Dragonfire is the combination of fire and toxic. So I've done it quite a few times. It's when you either throw the toxic cloud and then light it on fire. It's that big green burst of an explosion you've seen quite a few times. And you can also, if you're playing, you or someone else is playing the toxic class, and you have the toxic puddles, you can light those on fire, or light, if their teammate or the enemy is making toxic puddles, you can light those on fire too. And they do more damage than regular fire then when they're green dragon fire. Okay, this is the same team that took us out last time. They got Valthrin back up. Where are we at time-wise here after this stream? So I usually only stream for about 2 hours. And that's for a couple reasons. One, I'm pretty introverted, so me talking for a couple hours takes a lot out of me. I gotta recharge. Also, like I mentioned earlier, this is just like one of several this channel is one of several projects I've got going on, so have to devote time to everything else. also, I don't usually have live viewers, or if I do, people are usually lurking, which is fine. I lurk a lot myself. Reminder about that introvert part I just mentioned. So without like an active chat, it's difficult to just talk to yourself for hours on end without anyone else's energy to play off of or questions to answer. So that's same team one again. So we'll play one more. I think we'll go back into Clash. And we've played everything except Lightning and Toxic. So I'll play a Toxic game. Our channel is non-toxic, but sometimes sometimes we run the Toxic Gauntlet. And then we'll call it a stream for today after this one. But I stream Spellbreak pretty frequently. Usually 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and then usually Friday recently. As I mentioned earlier, though, I might be switching up my schedule a little bit. But I will let you all know and post it. Like, I'll probably post it on Twitter if I change it. So make sure you're following me on Twitter. There's a link in the description or in the channel about page. It's Happy Lil, L-I-L, gamer on Twitter. Since there's not enough characters for my whole name here. That's okay, it's cute. It's cute. I think actually my PlayStation name you see in the lower left here is also like that. I think I didn't have enough characters for Happy Little Rainbows, which is usually what I go by most other places lately. It's also the name of like a children's book and possible children's show project that I'm working on developing. Maybe a board game. I've got all kinds. I told you I got a lot of projects going. Most of them are tied up in the in Happy Little Rainbows. Lol, as you can see in the lower left. So on Twitter it's Happy Lol, but instead of rainbows it's gamer. I want to make sure that's right now that I said that. Yeah, that's right. That's the problem is, because little works on some things, in some places I am the full little. Okay. I probably am actually going to still just hold on to this fire gauntlet, since these elements pair well together and we've been talking to them. The Toxic Gauntlet, just a quick rundown of it, is like a shotgun kind of. when you play the class, so when you pick it as your main gauntlet, you get to throw down these toxic puddles. Unlike a shotgun in a lot of other games, though, you can see the spray pattern is pretty weird. It spreads out into like a horizontal line over time. But it does, if you're running the class, still make those puddles. So you do actually get quite a bit of range, and you can do corrosive damage against people's shields with it from a distance. Eat away at their shields, and then try to push into them to get up close to hit them for high damage. So I don't think, yeah, we're still haven't gotten to zone yet. So once we get to zone, we can go over it now though. So vanishing mist, the toxic clouds that you throw out. So those are what you blow up. We can do it once just to show. So that toxic cloud, throw down a fireball or throw the toxic cloud through the firewall and it'll explode like that wherever it hits, ultimately. Whether that's a person or whether that's the ground next to a person or what, it'll make that big explosion. And then that is the just lighting the puddles on fire to make dragon fire is what you see there. So how far are we going? We're going pretty far here. Did we miss something good? Oh, that's far. I'm not going that far for an amulet. Head over here to this tower thing. Maybe we'll get something good. We don't really have like no loot here. We have no rune. We have no belt. Finally we get some booties. There's not much that way unless I go down a little bit, so we'll head this way, so at least we're somewhat heading to zone. And there's a bunch of chests in this, what is this called, Emberdane? No, Westmar. Forget where Emberdane is. Somewhere else here. Or did I make, oh, Emberdane is not the name of a place on the map. Emberdane is the last name of Avira, one of the NPC characters from the story quests, and she's the one that actually is in the tutorial, if you've done the tutorial of the game. Still no rune. Like, I don't even think we've seen a rune. What's going on? Just give me a rune. I want to take this rift and go to zone. But I don't want to go to zone without a rune. Even a crummy rune would be fine. It's always something with the RNG, right? I mean, I don't keep on eluding in the storm, so I guess I'll just take it, but I'm not happy about it. Despite my name, Happy Little Gamer, I am not happy about going to zone without a rune. Jesse Kurlanchik, who is the game design director of the game that I mentioned a few times during this stream. He, on Tuesdays, has been doing, he calls them Cozy Core streams. They're very chill. He's been playing like another game called Path of Exile on there, which is kind of like a Diablo 2 clone, I think. Finally, a rune will take the dash instead of the... And then we can show you some action here. I feel like we've just been... Gosh. What was that? What was that? Oh, weird. Everything is super blocky. I don't know what's going on. Things are happening here. It's the grand finale of our stream. Who even knows what's happening? I'm getting goofy. That's how I know I've been talking too long. But anyways, Jesse has started his Cozy Core stream for the week. So I'll probably, after I'm done here, that's on Twitch, I will probably go tune into that. Because usually there's at least some little nuggets of information that come out through him that way. Grab that gear. Grab a better belt. What else do they got? Invis. No thanks. So now that we made it to zone, though, I can show you this, and no one's around, so it's a good time to do it. So my level 3 gives me, or level 4 gives me multiple of these clouds, but your level 2 for toxicologists makes it so you go invisible and dash forward when you enter those clouds, so you can throw them down, dash forward, and your level 3 makes you do extra damage while you're invisible. So it's great to throw it on those clouds, hop into them, dash towards your enemy, and then hit them up close with a big ol' slap of toxic, and it does a lot of damage. You can see here, it's a 75% damage buff when you're invisible for toxic damage, so massive buff. Oops, we see we got hit by lightning, so it broke our invis there, and it didn't really work. Not the greatest demonstration of it. I'm not sure what this person is doing. They're just standing. It's okay. It gives us a chance to try this again. Ooh, I'm trying to blow us up, and we did it. So you can also run the Shadow Step rune, which gives you some invisibility. And you still get that damage buff even when you're using Shadow Step for the invis. And what else? That invisibility rune gives you a lot of invisibility. As long as you don't get ticked by any damage during it, you get the 75% damage buff the whole time once you're level 3 toxicologist. So grab this. Well, we can show you since there's a Shadow Step here. I like to just run Spring Step on most classes. It's very versatile. I think it's also for console gamers. I would say it's the best of the low cooldown time runes. Spring Step, not Shadow Step that I'm running right now. Spring Step is one that launches you up into the air and then you fall back down, like what I'm doing with my jump, but just with the press of a rune button and a lot faster. Without using any mana, which is important. But it's great for console players because teammates blew them up before we got a chance to do any damage, but Spring Step is great for console users because it doesn't require dual, like having your finger on the rune and the jump button at the same time and having your finger on the right joystick all at the same time to get the most out of it, the way that dash does. So dash is, unless you use like a claw grip on console, dash is almost impossible to use on console, unless you have like a back button or paddle attachments or like a paddle pro controller. I do use I'm on PlayStation, so I use the PlayStation DualShock PS4 controller with their back button, which with like the official Sony back button attachment. It's usually $35. It's been lately on sale for just $20 on Amazon, and I recommend it most of the streams because it is a big way to buff your movement in this game, and I stream this game a lot, so I keep a link to it in the description. It's also an Amazon affiliate link, so it helps support the channel. So if you do end up getting one, you'll be helping us out. A very low kill, low damage game for whatever reason. Whether I'm drained of all my gameplay energy or what. Also, for some reason, I went to bed super early yesterday. Fell asleep at like, I think before 10 even, which is very unusual for me. I'm kind of a night owl / sometimes just can't fall asleep until 2 a.m. type of person. So me falling asleep before 10 is very unusual, and then I woke up at like 6:30 or something like that, so I've been up for a while today. Working on stuff. I wish that I could go to bed earlier. Probably, but whenever I do, this is what happens. Is then I wake up and then I'm just on a weird sleep schedule. It's now totally possible that tonight I will not go to bed until 2, but then wake up tomorrow at 6:30 also, which is not fun. Oh, did they disconnect or something? What did they do? What's going on with that? They're having issues. Someone's trying to jack us anyway, so we'll just get out of here. I'm not great at Toxic. It's just not really my play style. That is one of the great things about this game, is since it's not just all gunplay, and there really is like unique identities for each of the classes and gauntlets. Like, there is very different play styles for all of them. Some of them are better close up, and you have to be like more sneaky, like this one. One of the things that I like about the game. Teammate is just like unleashing 400 fireballs here. As you can see, I can hit shots, even though it's like a shotgun type of gauntlet. I can hit shots up there, but since they spread out over time, or as they go away from you, you do less damage. Like if you only hit one of those, you're only gonna do 10 damage, or about whatever I just did. I think it was 10. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there for today. I will be back streaming more tomorrow, but I'll be streaming, I think I'll be playing Super Mario Galaxy, which I've been trying to finish up a playthrough of. So that'll be at our usual 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific, which is 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern in the US. And I'll be back streaming more Spellbreak on Friday, probably, unless something big news, Spellbreak news-wise, happens between now and then we might do an extra stream. But for the most part, I'm going to be trying to finish that Arcane Gauntlet video before it just gets released. Later tonight, when I'm winding down, I might try to finish this story quest and see what the last bit of the story is for this week. See if there's any more hints at Arcane there that I can try to integrate into the video last minute. But anyways, thanks so much for hanging out. We're creating a happy little gaming community here together that's fun, inclusive, supportive, non-toxic. I'd love it if you joined us. You can do that by just hitting the subscribe button, hit that bell notification button to know when we go live on stream together. And if you enjoyed the content, I'd also appreciate it so much if you hit that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm know that you enjoyed it and suggest it to other people. So it really helps. I hope you have a magical day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.